My husband and I are having a baby. Is me asking for more than a week too much? Please help. Hey everyone. I am 15 weeks along, my husband 25M and I 23F have just started talking about all of the appointments/schedules going on until the end of the year, baby due in November. We found out I would not be getting paid maternity leave, but he would be getting paid paternity leave for up to 4 weeks. I've already started saving up for when I will be out of work for 3 weeks after the baby. I work from home, and I didn't really think it would be a problem for him to help me out for 3 weeks while I healed, and then let me readjust for a week while I try to transition back to work. His response was that he would be happy to take a week off, but if he needed to he could take 2. His reason was that 2 weeks was $2,000 that he would already be missing out on and didn't feel comfortable losing anymore. A few key details before I get into the juicy part. We've been together for 5 years, just got married May 4th. Yes, we had issues before the baby and no, the baby was not planned. I have pre-existing health issues, on top of being diagnosed with hyperemesis gravidarum that have sent me to the ER 4 times already. He does new construction plumbing, so he's paid per project, but if he were to be working at the shop on a rainy day/low inventory then he makes $15 an hour, which he would be getting paid during leave. We already have 3 ginormous dogs that I take care of 80% of the time on top of all vet visits/grooming. I feel that these are important tidbits so that you can better understand where I'm coming from. All I could do in response was sit there and cry. It hit me that I would honestly be doing this alone. I had already come to terms that once he went back to work, I wouldn't get much help from him since he does work a job that is manual labor, and he already is exhausted without having a baby around. I told him that at this point, I'd rather him just take the day off for the birth and I'd handle the rest. I explained that a week was hardly anything and if I was expected to be okay with just that, then I'd rather take nothing. I've already been looking around in CareCom and Rover to find someone to help with the baby and the dogs. I don't have anyone else but him, since both of our parents work and we don't have any other family near us. I now feel selfish because he got upset by what I said and he said the baby isn't even here yet, and I already feel like a deadbeat. I can't find anything online that says what's if a week is enough or not, and now I feel horrible because I can't get past the emotional part of this situation. Someone tell me I'm wrong or something because I don't really know what to think anymore. Edit. A few things I feel like I need to point out since some of you are a bit on the cranky side. Yes, we used protection, hence, surprise baby. I live in FL, maternity leave is not mandatory for employers. I could have done FMLA, but because I don't use my employer's insurance, it's not offered to me nor have I paid into it to use it. My main reason for this post was to get a viewpoint of all sides on this matter. It's our first child and we had already discussed have children later on in life. I never planned to get pregnant. I promise the baby and I are being monitored by my OB and my cardiologist.
Relevant comments. Meringue Maniac. Honestly, are you sure going through with this pregnancy is the right move? It's putting your health at risk. You and your husband were already having issues, a baby makes things harder not easier, and now he additionally is showing an extraordinary level of immaturity and is refusing to step up and is manipulating you into feeling guilty. This is only going to get worse.
OP. Absolutely. When we found out, we were still dating. I gave him choices. He could either leave or he could step up and be a parent. I tried to get him to leave honestly, because I wasn't 100% sure on how it would all go. But he chose to stay and he's been pretty great until this conversation. We only decided to get married because my previous insurance was expensive for my heart doctor and his was accepted by both my OB and heart doctor. So it just made sense.
Tired and short. I know this is a very tough question, but is there any world in which you would consider not having this baby? Your health is at risk. Your relationship with this man doesn't seem the strongest. It seems like finances are a little tight. I know when push comes to shove, you'll get through it and this baby will be cared for and loved. But please know that you're allowed to prioritize yourself too, and if making a very tough decision is what's best for you, do it.
OP. I thought about it when I first found out, but truthfully, I've always wanted to be a mom. I just had figured I'd go via foster/adoption. Our relationship and finances are definitely not in the best position, but considering how much worse it could be, it's not the worst. I know at the end of the day, he will provide for the baby. My health has been a concern and I was on COBRA previously through my old job's insurance. The insurance my company has wasn't accepted at the Mayo Hospital, so my only other solution to cutting back on costs was to get on my husband's plan, which is accepted by my heart doctor and my OB. So I am being monitored and get weekly lab work/checkups. Update. Some of you got but heard about the word vajaja and it makes me laugh out loud. Nonetheless, I hope you have a lifetime of cold pillows. I got a lot of questions/comments about having an abortion and truthfully, it's not for me. I have nothing against abortions, I had already grown an attachment to my baby. I showed my husband the post and comments. It was all truly eye-opening for us both. We had some really hard conversations and some of the most groundbreaking talks. We both ended up in therapy and in couples therapy. We still have a long way to go, but I feel like I'm living in a dream now. My job ended up paying for 6 weeks of maternity leave. My husband took 2 weeks off and his job gave him a baby bonus, on top of the end-of-year bonus. They were absolutely incredible during the journey. My pregnancy was absolutely horrible. My morning sickness sent me to the hospital 7 times. I had 2 IVs weekly, anemia, and PUPPS, in the middle of summer. I ended up on bed rest in October and I had her in November. She had a few complications that we faced and we ended up at a high-risk doctor, but the stars aligned and all of her issues were resolved by the time she was born. I labored for 36 hours and ended up having a C-section due to her heart rate dropping. Out of everything, that was the moment I was terrified. My C-section was absolutely traumatizing. I remember there were doctors everywhere, asking me questions and asking me if I was feeling anything. Every few minutes after they had given me numbing through my epidural, I kept getting my feeling back. It was horrible feeling them cut and pulling and the burning pain. I swear, as soon as they pulled her out and she started screaming, it was the most peaceful I'd ever felt. The first 2 weeks with her was everything I had hoped and dreamed. My husband was incredible and took care of everything. I had never felt so loved in my entire life. He helped me do everything and was amazing at night watch. We are now officially 7 months in and I swear life couldn't be better. I still work from home and she's with me while I work. She's incredibly smart and we have a great routine together. She has 4 teeth, she's standing on her own and crawling. We are so close to saying mama. I never knew I could love someone as much as I do her, and I'm grateful that she's mine. I think regardless, I'd still have made the same decision to keep her. I know it would have been harder and a lot scarier. I've hated my life for as long as I can remember for one reason or another, but now I feel like I have an actual purpose and she came at the most perfect time. I realize that not all stories are the same and I hope that I don't seem insensitive, but I figured an update is an update, good or bad. If you ended up reading this, which I doubt anyone will, thank you for the time. It means the world to me.
Relevant comments. Wangali. Happy to hear everything worked out. Wow, what a roller coaster that must have been. I'm 30 and this makes me not want to have kids. But regardless, did any of the advice help you out? I think very low of the advice given at this sub BC. It's filled with single people and people who just hate couples and every solution is to break up.
OP. Oh yes, I'm never having another one, but she was absolutely all worth it. I'll be honest, I didn't have a lot to live for and was absolutely hating my life. She saved me and I'm a better person because of her. But it wasn't fun and the only part one really miss are the kicks. Truthfully, a lot of it was pretty hurtful. I get it though, from an outside standpoint it didn't look great and I absolutely did not my husband the credit he deserved. There were a few that I saved specifically that were neutral and were really good advice in regards to speaking to my husband about my concerns. And a lot of super nice people messaged me instead of commenting. It was my first time posting on Reddit and I'll not make the same mistake twice, lol.